Morning. Evening all.
Good, James. How you doing?
Not too bad. How's things?
Things are good. Things are great. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, thanks. Early morning. Busy day over the last few days, but yeah, really good. How was the
Nice. How's your week?
I,
Oh, what's up?
yeah, I didn't ask about your how was the Grand Prix?
It was fun, but I don't know. I don't know if it was the best race itself. I apparently, according to stats, it was like number two overtakes of the year with like 45. But I had a great time. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know about if they're gonna get a deal there because that wasn't. I don't think a lot of people like that.
Yeah, I hear it was like a really physical race. Like Alex Albon came off it and like couldn't move his arms. Apparently, I think it's definitely an interesting one.
Yeah, yeah, you could tell even when they're getting out of the car, all of them look just beat and like a lot more than usual.
Yeah, agreed. Oh, that's good to hear though. Glad you had a good time. Um, cool. Right, I guess we can get into it. Updates on all hedgies. I mean, where to start? I guess I can probably give a shout out to Marash, who's kind of open sourced his hedgie banners there. Marash, I don't know if you're able to speak here, but do you want to kind of touch on that? It would be great just to give an overview there.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, James. Um, so yeah, a couple of releases in terms of Hedgie's content this week. One is the Twitter banners. So if you go onto my profile on Twitter and Alucard, MX, a couple others, they have already updated theirs. And as we are talking, I'm going to be releasing the link to everybody in the Hedgie's general channel. If someone could please pin that, that'd be great. So I'll be releasing a link there where we've generated banners for all 4,200 hedgies. They're custom to correspond to your hedgie, right? So the color of the waves there changes depending on the color of your hedgie's background, and then all of the traits are listed right there as well. I mean, I'm a little biased, but personally, I think they look really cool on Twitter, and they go really well with the overall PFPs. So excited to be wrapping that grant up, and yeah, go check those out. Download your hedgies. I think my personal favorites are anything with the rug blue background because the waves turned out to be multicolored there. They've got a really crisp flow to them. So yeah, go check those out. I'll be releasing the link in a couple minutes just as people are speaking here. The other thing that was recently dropped, and that was kind of a surprise, using the same code that I used for the banners, I released wallpapers for phones, as I had a feeling that an iOS app was going to be coming out. I know DYDX kind of teased it a little bit, and there was the beta version. So now that that's out, I also dropped those. That's pinned in the Hedgie's general chat. So if you want a wallpaper for your phone with a beautiful background created by James, JSOX, I believe 68. Sorry, James, I forget your full OG username there. But yeah, he created beautiful backgrounds, and then I was able to superimpose all 4,200 hedgies over top of those. I've seen a couple of people put them as their phone backgrounds, and again, very biased opinion by me, but I think they look very crisp. So go check those out.
Awesome, thanks, Marash. That's great. Yeah, when you post it in the channel, let me know, and I'll pin it to the channel so people can click on it and claim their hedgies, banners, and phone wallpapers. Thank you for that.
Yeah, glad that Hedgie Media is growing step by step.
Absolutely. Cool. I guess the other thing I could probably mention is I think what's going to come out this week, and it's something that I haven't really spoken to the ambassadors about yet, is I think DYDX Foundation will be kind of allocating maybe one hedgie a week to the boroughs, and they can, for that reason, what it's going to be is they can decide where these hedgies go out to currently. So they won't stick with the ambassador program, but they'll essentially have the choice on who in the community are sort of contributing to governance community initiatives, which will be really cool. I think that might be capped at, say, like 10. We're not sure yet. But again, we'll welcome thoughts on the process there. And if you guys think that's a good idea, great. Then we can start to issue those out for distribution, which would be cool. So that's everything Hedgie's distribution. I don't think there's anything new Hedgie related there. I know there's been talk in the past, obviously, like Hedgies and proposals about any kind of integrations with Hedgies, but nothing really that's come to fruition really over the last few weeks on the forums. I know we touched about it last week with NT Inc. So I don't know if you've got anything further updates there, NT Inc., or if you want to touch on anything governance related for the ambassador program whilst we're here.
Yeah. I'll start with what we did. Yeah. Oh, sorry. So, with it's not even a proposal, but the write-up I made about the NFT lending. Then Starkwell had great comments about doing a broad market, and obviously the bandwidth is stretched. So I'm still looking at the idea. I actually found one other marketplace that has a similar idea, thanks to Uphold. I'm sorry if I pronounce it wrong. And then, I'm looking at it, but it's going to cost a lot of money. And the core team can't do it now, so then there's definitely a lot of barriers to entry there. I mean, I'm definitely not done looking at it, but I want to know more. So then if I actually did want to write a proposal, I know what I'm talking about with that. So it's kind of on the back burner, but I'm still researching it.
Sweet. No, that sounds good. I think that's a great idea. I think eventually something along those lines is going to be integrated, and I think there's definitely going to be a market for it, really.
And I think there's even a lot of value in doing what Coinbase does, and even maybe a decentralized minting connected with DYDX. I have a lot of ideas, but we just need some time, right, when everything's better in place.
Yeah, absolutely. Agreed.
And then we'll go back to the Hedgie raffle thing. So we had a little idea in governance was trying to drum up more delegates, and one of our ideas was we could do some sort of ticket system. I'm going to explain this to the community just so you guys can consult and maybe make some comments about it. We want to do like a Hedgie raffle where if you onboard as a delegate, you get a ticket within this raffle. Maybe we do it every 2 weeks, every month, or every 2 months. And for being a delegate and participating, you can win the Hedgie. And furthermore, when we have more voting and proposals coming through, we can do a ticket for onboarding and tickets for every time you vote, and start really getting more delegates onboarded and people involved in voting, which is we've been looking at that a lot in governance. Any comments from the community on that?
Yeah, it'd be great to hear people's thoughts there on what they feel the barriers are to currently voting and all sort of delegating tokens for the community if you haven't voted, and if this can kind of incentivize you to do so in that sense. If anyone's got anything to say, that would be awesome, by all means. Anyone could speak at any time anyway, so we can carry on, I guess, and address it if someone wants to say anything.
Yeah, and for anyone new, it's jammed on push to talk, so you might have to go into your settings there. Okay, so moving on here. Well, I had another Hedgie related idea. I'm losing track here. No, that was both of them relating to Hedgies. Well, you want me to go into some governance thoughts?
Yeah, do you want it? That would be good.
Okay, so something easy, low hanging fruit we've been looking at in the governance borough, and all the boroughs have been working very hard. Even we can see a lot coming out from the media, user onboardings, and let me even go through what we have here. We have analytics, governance, media, risk analysis, student, and user onboarding, and there's a lot of cross collaboration going on. So yeah, we're all working hard. But one idea we have here is a template for announcements. So overall, we have some issues with discussion on the forums. And it's the idea here where if you don't feel like anyone is going to engage, you're not going to engage or make more posts. So a lot of people don't want to be involved with governance or things like that. You lose about So it's okay. Let me go back here. We'd have the template would be you can capture the crypto audience from Twitter, and then it would go down to Discord and then down to forums, and each one getting more detailed. So we're trying to capture users that fall into each niche, and we need to make this template basically with announcements, meaning Twitter would be something simplified with explaining a governance proposal or things within governance. And then Discord, we can get more detailed. The community can have some discussion in there. And then people who really want to participate will end up on the forums generally. And that's where a lot of discussion, we can hopefully drum it up to. So that's something we're working on. And I don't think it's going to be hard. It's just coordination and just like a solid template we can replicate that works for the announcements. And especially focusing on explaining governance, explaining what some of the proposals are. Like we had that big one that just got passed, and that was very hard to understand. Even for myself, I had to go learn a lot of things, but we can utilize this community here to explain stuff. So that's one main thing we're working on here.
Yeah, I think it's definitely needed. And I think, having things into shorter bite-sized content based on the difficult and complex proposals for everyone to understand will really help the community and hopefully engage more people into governance. So I think it's a really great idea and something that will take off and get a lot of kind of uptake there. And I think it will be really valuable for the community to spend time looking through those, in addition to like the complex nature of the proposals and just to give them an overview of what's going on.
Yeah, for sure. It makes everyone feel more involved too. And then another thing too that is being worked on. We're working with. Let me see here. It's the analytics, I think, but we're looking to do some sort of dashboarding system with harvesting data on delegated tokens, delegates, voting in general, and the end game for me, my idea, but not only my idea, obviously, but my ideal of what this could be in the end game is if we have some sort of data dashboard with all of the metrics you want at DYDX in-house, and then we can have discussion boards within there. This also goes back to we're working on forums, and just really it's all about trying to get more people involved here.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I think it's great. Loving the ideas that are coming from your borough. So awesome. That's great. And if anyone's got any ideas and comments or wants to, I guess, razz with anyone in the governance borough, then by all means, reach out on Discord. Everyone in that borough is extremely active. There's NT Inc., MX, and Lememe who are all in this huddle this morning. So that's great. Reach out.
There was also something brought up this week in a discussion between the media bureau and the user onboarding bureau. And that was the idea of having like a specific Hedgie mascot for each of the boroughs. So if each one of the boroughs was to have their own Hedgie, and that would kind of be the face of the borough, right? So for all media releases, all communications, videos, what have you, that could be the face. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
Marash, that's a phenomenal idea. I love it.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. It's something I'll bring up to the team as well and get their thoughts on distribution strategies to the boroughs. I think if you can have one per borough, I think that's a great idea, and you can really utilize them for branding in that sense.
Yeah, bro, sounds good. Especially if the Hedgies have a resemblance to what the borough is supposed to represent. Maybe someone with a backpack. I know we have the backpack Hedgies for the student borough. There's the risk borough that I don't know how you would represent, but maybe some of the Wall Street bodies there could be representative of that. Just characteristics that embody what the borough is all about.
Yeah, I agree. I think that would be a great idea. And then if we can kind of almost it'd be super cool if we could add some form of, I don't know, in a world it would be great if we could add the PO-ops. They're holding the PO-ops or something. which would be great, which we could actually look at exploring and have them as almost like honorary Hedgies for the ambassador program, which would be super, super cool.
That's a good idea too.
Can I tell something?
Yeah, of course. Go ahead, Nico.
So, good evening, good morning for everyone. So, main of ideas. I was really surprised that guys talk about customizations of hedges, but not about localizations, and nobody don't think anything about increasing of population of our community, because as you know that in general chat and in other chats where most of important questions were discussed, same like about ambassadors program, same like about delegates and so on, that for example most of RU and at all SNG post-Soviet Union community actually don't know what actually happened and what actually got in whole ecosphere of DYDX. Couple weeks ago, we got one discussion with Alterseni 93. It's like a moderator of RU community, and he also moderator in Telegram of DYDX channel. And we discussed with him about translation and localization of most important articles nowadays, which is actually skipped by most of people because they got poor knowledge of English, but actually they got not bad knowledge at crypto at all. And another one thing that when I hear about such platforms such like Twitter or Discord, I'm very surprised why, for example, Instagram was skipped and also Telegram, because nowadays most of Europe communities and so on, same like traders, coach of traders and other projects about crypto located there.
Yeah, I can answer that. I think, like, to your point, is, you know, localization for us is a real priority right now. Like, even like outside of the ambassador program, I know it might seem that there's not a huge amount of, let's say, Russian articles and or translation of docs. We actually use an external provider currently to link up with our community managers to help with translations through the site and then helping with translation of articles. I think so that's one thing. I think a number two is going to be, over the next few weeks, we're actually going to be releasing a bounty board where users can actually come in from, let's say, of their respective country and come and claim a task that is based on sort of their own language translation. So if there's an article on DYDX or the DYDX Foundation page and we think this needs to be translated into Russian, then this will be a paid task in DYDX that anyone who can speak that language can come and claim and actually be involved in helping translate those articles. I know people are doing this currently voluntarily, which is awesome, and you know, hugely appreciate the effort and help from the community there. But yeah, just to give you kind of a 2 cents, it's in the works, and we are really trying to prioritize changing the front end and everything into your respective languages.
So in additional way, I want to tell that when I observe articles about prospective delegates and delegates. I was really surprised that such important topic in the whole community wasn't translated for a very long time, and I already make it, and I sent post for Starkvale to check it, and for Alterseni 93, I mentioned about him that he is like moderator in RU community, and this article will really help to understand the whole system and actually how to perform this and take part in all sphere about delegates.
Brilliant. No, that sounds great. And I mean, we really appreciate you doing that. I mean, what I encourage you also is to kind of post it in the Discord. Then I can post it, either pin it to the channel on Discord and then send it to the team who can look at trying to implement that. I think another thing there is I spoke to Altaseni93 last night, who is going to, she started up a DY. I know there has been users who have started up a DYDX Russia Medium channel and account. But I think he's going to start one and therefore take in users' posts and then post it through that, which would be awesome to get more reach.
So I already discussed such topic that near, for example, in Discord server near chat of RU community, Chinese, Japanese, and so on and so forth. It will be great if there will be additional like branch where is it possible to absorb most of articles, because for example, for newbie people or who actually don't check all time chat, and they will miss pinned messages, which can be actually quite important. So it will be great if will be like additional topics. For example, like you tell about branch content, which was closed after a couple of days because of huge spamming of different materials.
Yeah.
But main idea, it was sharing of this to avoid trash talk in main chat.
Yeah.
And I can also add that, for example, memes what we got in our local area won't be clearly understood understood by people from, for example, UK or anywhere, because first is language barrier, second is as you know, in Ukraine now is war, and so on. And actually, there not like memes about this. It's not on this one way, but we got some materials which can be like collaborated for providing peace for everything, and like against this one, memes and contents and so on.
Makes sense.
I hope you understand in correct way my message, what I try to send for you.
Yeah, absolutely. That it all makes sense, Nico, and it's something that we can also talk outside of this as well, privately. If I can try and help anyway, that can better kind of like communicate with you and your and the Russian Ukraine community, and really try and help propel content like into the open there. I know, like you said, that channel was closed in the end because people just posted memes in there. I think, you know, maybe we reopen that eventually and I can just delete all the memes that come in and therefore keep the quality content. That's something that we can talk about. Cool. Anyone else got anything to bring up at all? Anything else ambassador related? Anything else Hedgie related? I think I just touched on briefly this bounty board that will likely also be controlled by the ambassadors. So essentially we will hold the bounty board on likely a site called DWork, where people can come in. If it's a task that requires like the vetting of like either like content or anything that kind of is involved with kind of like more dollar than anything voluntarily or co-op related. It will go through kind of like a small application process, whereas I think low-hanging fruit tasks can be claimed as bounties. So I think any ideas that the community have on certain tasks that they can come and claim, etc., would be great to send through to either the ambassadors here or to myself directly.
Hey, Kim. Do you hear me, guys? Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a proposal for ambassadors. I think that I wrote it to Hedgie Huddle's channel like a week ago. So it would be great ambassadors to have like daily quests or something like this to give likes to DYDX localized channels or main, I don't know, grants or ambassador channels on Twitter to push it using the Twitter algorithms.
So Kakao, you mean kind of like when the content's produced in sort of like the respective language or Twitter pages that the ambassadors go around and try and propel that message as well?
Yeah, they will like it, comment or retweet or something like in this way.
Yeah.
They will like, comment or retweet or do such activities.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's something also that the foundation, DYDX Foundation page is going to do more of going forward. Like historically, we've been quite quiet, but I think like user-generated content is now really going to be sort of like at the forefront of our minds and really propel that content that's being produced. So I know the Media Borough is also thinking along the same lines. So yeah, that's definitely a priority.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks.
No probs. Thanks for the question. Cool. I guess like lastly, the POOP Google form, the POOP number 7 claim is now in the Hedgie's general channel. The password is underneath that form. The password is microphone. If you can click that Google form, type in the password microphone, that password will be deleted within 3 minutes. So please make sure you write that word down and fill that form in correctly. Anyone who doesn't, unfortunately, is just not going to be able to claim it. I know a lot of people screenshot it, but at the end of the day, you know, this Google form's only going to be available for a short period of time. So password is microphone. And yeah, if you can fill in that Google form, that's great. I think over the next few weeks as well, just TLDR, maybe in the next month or so, we may be lucky enough to hear from some of the merch team that have gone kind of like really focused on shipping DYDX merch. So TLDR, that may be coming your way, which is really exciting. They've been silently working away in the background, which has been awesome, and they've produced some, you know, extremely high quality merch there. So it'd be great to see them once they're available to come on and have a chat with us all. Anything else to finish on? Has anyone else got anything to say really quickly or ask anything?
Twitter banners are now live in the Discord, just above James's message there.
Yeah, claim your banner. That's definitely something that's, yeah, it looks so good. Yeah, it looks really good, Marash. Cool. All right.
Thank you.
Right, let's end there, guys. Again, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you've got your POOP number 7, and then we'll look at changing this up again going in the future. I mean, if anyone's got any suggestions on how we can make this better, then great. Again, we're going to probably start to change the times, and hopefully when Alucard's a little bit better and he's recovered, then we can chat to him about different ideas he's got around this as well. Cool. All right, guys. Thanks for your time. We'll catch you all soon.
Awesome. Thank you, James.